This is Rodney with ZebraScapes Landscaping. I have Cole with us. He's a part of the ZebraScapes team, and we're glad to have you here. He's been with us for a bit, and we brought him on board on the spray department. Chemicals, weeds, and all sorts of stuff. So we all have those issues with weeds in the yard, and there's so many questions that come all over the media and all the stuff that, chemical and is it safe for the pets? And, I look at chemical, I read it, and it's like, holy cow, I'm going to die if this can's in my house, to the point that obviously they sell it. So does it work? And then the effect of it, how long it lasts. So I've been around chemical my entire life. In the Midwest, we did all kinds of spray. My dad did, chemical all the time. And over time, I've learned a lot about chemical and how dangerous it is, and also the huge benefit it has to offer. The chemical we have, and then how to mix it and all that important stuff. So I have you here. You seem awful young, and just want to pick your brain a little bit. So what is there, when you go to clients and you got weeds, how can we assure the customer that what we're applying and the effect of it and the benefit of it?
When I usually talk to a customer, the main thing I always stress is that we're huge into, plant health care. We're huge into making sure that their animals are safe, that they're safe, that we are in accordance with the label of any chemical or herbicide that we're using. And I always stress safety. Safety is huge for us. As long as, I always give as much information as I can when it comes to what chemical we are using.
So, you talk about it, but let's break it down to, we're going to spray your yard. Let's say we're going to spray your yard for pre-emergent. Pre-emergent is, to me, I believe pre-emergent is very effective. And I kind of look at two things. Is it chemical, or is it, and how dangerous it is? The reason why is because pre-emergent will not kill anything, right?
No. Pre-emergent is a non-selective herbicide. So what pre-emergent does, really, the basis of it is it just does not allow any seeds to germinate. If applied correctly on your soil, any seeds of a weed will not germinate. If applied, well, we say 60% or more. So when you're spraying for weeds and you're spraying that pre-emergent, it is very effective. And you can see when you drive down streets, the yards that have pre-emergent and the yards that don't.
Yeah.
It's a vast difference.
So, and that's also critical timing.
Yes, timing is very critical when you're applying the herbicide. Every herbicide is different. Here at ZebraScapes, we are licensed to apply that chemical. So certified applicators. So, following everything in accordance to the label is very important. Especially me and Johnny were both the certified spray techs here. When we went to school, the number one thing they stress is the label is the law.
Yeah, that's true.
The label is the law, and that's just we follow the label to the T, and whatever the label says, that's the best result you're gonna get.
So, pre-emergent, is it a chemical or is it not a chemical? Because it won't kill anything.
It won't kill anything. I would say it is a chemical, and it is a chemical. But when following the accordance of the label, it is safe. It is very safe if you're following everything to the T and you're taking all the precautions and the steps necessary.
So when clients ask me, I want to spray pre-emergent, after you're done spraying, when can a pest be outside, or should a pest be inside? Obviously, you want it inside when you're spraying, so they ain't messing around with you running around, because when it sees water, it'll chase. But you're done spraying. What is a safe way to say, let the dog out? What is a safe way, and what you're not worried about at all?
So the pre-emergent we use specifically prodiamine. The label says it is safe when dry. So that can mean a lot of different factors. It depends on how long it takes to dry.
Yeah.
But I always recommend 2 to 3 hours, and usually in that period, it will dry by then. But I always say, hey, take a walk around, look to make sure nothing's pulled up, make sure you're just take those precautions. But usually 2 to 3 hours, the chemical's dry and the dog is safe to go outside.
but realistically, 10 minutes is dry, right?
10 minutes is dry, yes, but we like to be safe, so
You're right,
just in case.
No, you always want to cover your grounds. I mean, to me, you spray and it's dry immediately. And then if you really look into it, how much do you have to absorb to affect you is more than they can eat.
Yeah, it's more than they can eat. Yeah.
So I do the same thing. Tell clients, hey, just give it time just to cover your bases. But they couldn't ever the amount to absorb it to affect them because it's not.
You need a heavy dosage, and again, it's mixed with water because we don't want to. According to the label, you can't just have that high of a dosage.
Yeah.
And so you really need a high dosage to see something happen right then and there.
Yeah.
But usually like you said, 10 minutes is really good to go. But I just say, hey, 2 hours stay.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's better to be safe, and then also you give the customer reassurance because they start questioning you 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't seem realistic. But I mean, we sprayed and the dog, the effect is so minimal, or even at all when it comes to pre-emergent. And that's what I strong. So if you're just really don't want chemical, like just don't apply it, and you're pre-emergent is what I would do because that just eliminates the weeds at a 60 to 70% chance of anything germinating if you spray at the right time and multiple times a year. I know we talked about just the climate change and everything, and down in the valley, they're spraying 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And I know you came to me and said, hey, I think we need to offer 3 times a year.
I think we do. I think 3 times a year is adequate. And here it's a weed factory here in Prescott and Prescott Valley, especially. I mean, we just have fields full of them.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely recommend that 3 times a year, that application, just because, you get better coverage. Let's say you missed a spot, or let's say it didn't sink in the soil well, or there was rain or runoff, or just a lot of different factors. And I think, why not? 3 is better than 2, so it's more than 2, so why not?
Yeah, it is. It's better to be that way than all you have a week, because all it takes, like you said, the weather, the moisture coming in, the winters that come in, and the amount of money for the third spray is so minimal than seeing weeds and coming out and spot spraying and all that. So the factors, you think about it, pre-emergent is, yes, it is a chemical, but it's so diluted down that it won't kill anything.
Yes.
So if you're on the fence, well, spray 3 times a year, and then that will just minimize the weeds at a astronomical amount. And from then, and if the first time you're spraying pre-emergent, you might not see great effect, right?
Yeah.
Like
the first time you spray, well, are you talking about in the beginning parts of the spring?
Yeah. Some people say, well, I was under the impression as the first time you ever sprayed pre-emergent, you're not going to get the greatest results as you did if you did the second year.
Yeah. So it's honestly it's a process of building that just that constant spraying, and your yard almost begins to change over time as you see the first time. You're not going to see as good as you would if you've been doing it for a year or 2 years. But
because if you have a broken root in the ground, it won't kill it.
It won't kill it. No. You're going to need a post, which is you're going to need a selective herbicide to kill that. Yeah.
So it won't, if the root's already established, the seed already germinated, pre-emergent will not kill it. No. So at all, and it will grow on that point of it. So now when you come to chemical, like you have weeds and you want to spray, what's your safety factor of your PP&E, and how harmful is this?
When it comes to chemical, the effects usually don't happen till years down the road, especially if you're constantly spraying. If you're constantly inhaling it, you'll see the effects down 20 years down the road. But with proper PPE, again, according to the label, we take those precautions. We always read the label beforehand. All right, this is the PPE required, and we usually go above and beyond the PPE that is required, that's the only time you can go against the label, as if it's better than what the label says.
Yeah.
So yeah, our guys are gloved and masked up, and they have glasses and the goggles, whatever they need, depending on the type of chemical that's being used. It's very important, very important. We want the safety of the customer, but more importantly, we want the safety of the client, of the employee as well. Down the road, we don't have breathing problems or I can't remember things, or something like that. So
it's very, very, something you got to watch. Well, number one, a customer, they spray what, one time a year. They're applying a year. They're 8 hours a day, constantly, day after day after day. So yeah, it's very important to have all the mask on. So how critical it is for a client to say, get the dog inside, close the windows up, I'm leaving, like where's the caution where like, hey, it's safe, just let's spray and we'll go on. What's your thoughts on that? Stop. I'm interrupted right now.
When I first walk up to a client's house, the first thing I do is always ask, do you have pets? Do you have dogs? Do you have any sort of animal that likes to roam around on your property? Because if it's yours, please keep it inside, keep those windows shut. Just like you were saying, that's the first thing I do is when I walk up.
So how critical is it to keep the windows shut?
Extremely. Is it? I don't want, if there's a drift coming in with the wind and you're drinking your tea, or I don't know, your coffee, whatever you like, whatever you prefer, some chemical gets in that tea or something,
Would that affect you at all?
No, not really. It's such a small dosage. It won't, but again, we want to keep things safe. Yeah.
I'm just challenging you. We want to be 100% safe.
He's always challenging me. You know that? Always.
But overall, that small amount of chemical will not affect. Because you're diluted down, then you spray the moisture. But still, it's a safety factor. It's not only a factor, it's just knowing the thought you have chemical on you, which I would strongly recommend.
Yeah.
That being closed and the windows being closed around it, because the drift is the issue.
The drift is the issue.
Wind pickup.
The wind pickup, just that coming through the windows. You don't want to be breathing that in. But again, it's such a small dosage that it would take years of just breathing in every day, and then maybe down the road you'd be like, I don't know, respiratory problems. But for a client, I would say the precautions we take and the chemical we use, you're in good hands and you're very safe when we're applying it out your yard.
You spray weeds. They have pets. When's a good time to let them out with post-emergent?
Ooh, post-emergent. Depends on the post you're using, but again, the label says when it's dry, it's safe. The one we use, same thing. When it is dry, it's safe for the pets. So whenever dry is, but I always,
in Arizona, 10 minutes, but let's say 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours, just to be safe.
Yeah. Well, that's great insight. And then, a lot of people are 100% get chemical, and I understand. And that's why I still say, really think about pre-emergent if you are 100% get chemical, because overall, it is such a light dose of chemical compared to post-emergent. Post-emergent is still very safe with everything happening. You put your PPE on and all that stuff is critical. And a lot of I learned over the years, post-emergent and pre-emergent, believe it or not, they get immune, right?
Yeah, the soil can get it's strange. The soil almost builds up resistance or immunity over time. And so what we work in, it's called IPM, Integrated Pest Management. You're always reevaluating and seeing, okay, maybe we need to make some changes here. Maybe the soil's, it's built up a resistance over, maybe a course of 3 to 4 years, and it's no longer working. We might need to switch herbicides, So, I would say if you've been doing it for a while, you're noticing, wait a minute, it's not giving the effect that it was in the beginning. That could maybe mean you need to switch chemicals or, a variety of different things. But yeah, the soil can definitely build up immunity towards it.
How many years are you talking or applications?
I say from what I've seen and from what Johnny has seen, our other spray tech, is it lasts for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. And then you start noticing a slight decline.
Yep.
A slight decline. But the 3 to 5 year period, it's golden.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what we do. We'll look back when someone says, "Hey, we're not seeing the effect," and usually we're like, "Wait, when did we switch that chemical over?" Mm-hmm. We'll go back and right away, "Hey, switch it over." Like you said, we just added the chemical, we mix it up a tiny bit or a lot, and then we go back and rotate 3 different ways and talk to our rep on what we should offer for that chemical. But Cole, it was great having you. A lot of insight. This is valuable information for safety. And also for pests, as weeds and everything that happens around our yard, and to keep them at a minimal as possible. And number one, as safe as possible. And that's important, but also the confidence that a client is confident that they're safe and they're going to get the results. Because when you see something being sprayed, it's like, is this going to work? and all those things go through your mind. So it takes a lot of education, a lot of classes that you take. How often do you take these classes throughout the year?
Throughout the year, I always, there's not really a class I take, but I always touch up on things. I'm always rereading my labels. We're looking at, the test, practice tests, and then, but usually you renew your CEUs once a year.
Yeah. So every year you have to renew
because something changes like that.
Yeah. Well, by law.
Yeah, by law. Yeah.
Yeah. For us to have our license and be able to spray, that's all critical information. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for having you. It was a pleasure, and we hope this is very beneficial. And put your comments below if you have any questions or any disagreements. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in to Landscaping with ZebraScapes. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring to your landscaping projects. For more tips and resources, and to learn how ZebraScapes can help you transform your outdoor space, visit our website, www.zebrascapes.com. Until then, happy landscaping.